Daf Nun Hayam at base, 6 lines from the top. So we're holding in the middle of the sugya. Rav Ami said that there's no misa without a chet, and there's no yisurim without oven. So there's no misa. A person is not nifter unless there's a chet. We asked the kasha that the Malach Yeshorah said that Moshe and Aaron didn't have a chet and they were nifter. So the pasuk says mikra echad l'tzadik l'rasha. So apparently there is misa without chet. The Gemara answers, Hu d'omar Rav Ami, he holds like the following man d'omar. Hu d'omar ki haytana. The Tanya Rav Shimon ben Elazar Omer. Rav Shimon Elazar says, Af Moshe Aaron bechetam mesu. No, they also, Moshe Aaron did have a chet. So it's not that they were nifter without a chet. They did have a chet. Shenemar yan lo yamantabi. It says by the Meimariva that they didn't demonstrate the betochen in Hashem. But if they had, then they would not have, their time would not have come to be nifter. So he holds like that man domer. Meisve, I'll ask you a question. Arba, Meisu, Be'etcha Shal Nachash. There are 4 that died only with the Eitzah of the Nachash. That the Nachash was Mefata Chava. That's why the Misa was Niknas, there was a Gzeira of Misa, but they themselves were not worthy of dying. They didn't have any Aver. They were 4 of Elohan ben Yamin ben Yaakov, Amram, Avi Moshe, Yishai, Avi Dovid, Vechila ben Dovid. These are the 4 that did not have any chet. They were nifter only because of the Eitzah of the Nachash. The Kula Gemara, all of them are a Kabbalah, Labar mi Yishai Avi David, except for Yishai, the father of David, which that we can learn it out from the pasuk. The Mefaresh Be'kra, because the pasuk says it explicitly, D'chsiv es Amasa, Samav Shalom Tachas Yoav al Hatzava, V'Amasa ben Ish, Ushmo Yisraeli, Asher bo El Avigail, Bas Nachash, Achas Sruya, Aim Yoav. So that's how it identifies him, and it identifies him in the Sherbo al Abigail Bas Nachash, that Abigail was the daughter of Nachash. So for the Gemara, what do you mean? Bas Nachash? Was she the daughter? Was Abigail the daughter of Nachash? Bas Yishai? She was the daughter of Yishai. It says the sisters of the sons of Yishai were Tzruya and Abigail. So why does it call her the daughter of Nachash if she was the daughter of Yishai? Elabas mi shemes be'etchel Nachash. It's called Nachash because he was the one that was nifter only because of the Eitzah of the Nachash. That's why he was nifter. So you see we have these 4. So money. If it's the earlier Tana that we saw, the Malach Yeshorah, that said that Moshe Aaron did not have a chet, Moshe Aaron, so it was only Moshe Aaron. Elallah Rav Shimon ben Elazar, it must be Rav Shimon ben Elazar. Ushma mino yesh misa b'loi chet v'yesh yisurim b'loi avoin. So it must be Rav Shimon ben Elazar who he held that Moshe Aaron did have a chet. He held that they did have a chet, and they were not nifter b'tishal nachash. But there are other ones that didn't have a chet. So you see that they both hold the Kuli Alma that there was a misa without a chet, according to the Tana Malach Yeshorah's Moshe Aaron, and perhaps these 4 as well. According to Shimon Elazar, it's only these 4. It's not Moshe Aaron, but nevertheless we see that there are those who are nifter without chet. Or tiyufta Ravami tiyufta. It's a kasha tiyufta Rami tiyufta. We see that there are those who are nifter without a chet. In the Gilnei Shas, Rabbi Akiva Eiger says, he brings down the Zohar, and he brings down other ones as well, Amram, Levi, Binyamin, and they say Yishai, which we bring in here as well. So continuing on with the Chatoim, where things considered a chet, we discussed the Tana Malach Yeshorah that Moshe Rabbeinu did not have a chet. We had other mandomer, Shimon Elazar, that they were chayte. We're going through different lists of different personalities in Tanakh, where were they chayte or were they not chayte. Amar Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani Amar Rav Yonasan Kol Omer Uvein Chata Ein Helo Taiva. So whoever says that Ruvain, in the Maisa where he was Bilbel Yitzui Aviv, and that's considered a chet, that he was considered that he was boil Bilha, that is chayta. Shenemar of Ayuvene Yaakov Shnei Masa. It says that the sons of Yaakov were 12. It puts them all together in one category. Melamed shekulim shekulim kachas. Therefore, it teaches us that they're all considered equal. Elamani mekayim vayishkav es bilha pilegesh aviv. How am mekayim that melamed shebilbel matzo shel aviv? That he, not that he was boil her, not that he had relations with her, but he removed the bed. It's treated like he was Shachav Imoy because he was disrespectful to his father, Kivyachal, so to speak, but not that literally he had relations with her. Tanya Rishim ben Lazar Omer, Mutzalaisa Tzadik Maisa Oven. That Reuven was saved from that head, from that oven. And he was not boil her. What's the proof? What's the raya? Because Evshar also Zaralamed al Hareva V'Lemer Or Sheichav Meshazovi. Could it be that his descendants will stand on Hareva and they will be the ones that will administer the curse of Or Sheichav Meshazovi, V'Yava Chedzel Yadoi, and he'll have this ched, and as Rashi elaborates, meaning his children, if he had the ched, his children wouldn't be the ones to say Or. It wouldn't be them that would say Or. So since it's his children that said Or Shoichev, couldn't be that he himself was Shoichev Meshasoviv. Elamani mekan vayishka vesbila pelegeshoviv. So what does it mean when it says vayishka, that he was Yishka el boin imoy tova? He was demanded, he stood up for the disgrace, the embarrassment of his mother. Omar im achesimi hoysat sorale imim. He said if his mother's sister, that if Rachel was a tzora, a co-wife, a competitor to his mother, meaning Yaakov, that Rachel was their keres abayis. Yaakov's main dwelling was with Rachel. So he said, well, if Rachel is a tzora to his mother, then so be it. But that it should be the Pelege Shivchas Achais Imi Tzora Imi, but should the Shivcha of my aunt, should she be a tzora, a competitor to my mother? Amad v'bilas matzah. So he removed the bed, Yaakov's bed, and removed it and put it in another place. Acher ma'imrim shtei matzos bilbel. Some say that there was two beds that he was bilbel. Achas shel shchina v'achas shel aviv. One of his father, one of the shchina. V'hainu d'chsiv az chilalta yitzui Allah. It says a disgrace. You desecrated the Yitzui, Allah, that who rose on my bed. Then Yaakov said to him, you desecrated Allah, the one, the Shechina, that was oil on my bed, you disgrace the Shechina. Because the Shechina was oil on Mitosa, on the Mishkav of Yaakov Avinu. By removing the tent, then it was disgraceful for the Shechina as well. Kitanoi. So this, whether Ruvain was chayt or not, l'cher is a machlokes tanoim. Because it says, the pasuk says, Pachas kamayim al toisar. So Yaakov Avinu tells Ruvain that you were quick, you rushed into something, and you rushed like rushing water, and therefore al toisar, you will not have this greatness. You lost your greatness. So Pachas, what is the lashon of Pachas? Rabbi Eliezer Omer, Rabbi Eliezer says, so it's Rashi Teva is Pachas, means pay, you acted quickly. Ches is chavta, you became chayev. Zalta, you mezalzel, you made it something you belittled. Rabbi Yeshua Omer Pasata al das, he says that the pay stands for you trampled on the das, on the halachas. Chatosa, you're chayta. Zanisa, you're mezana. So these mandam hold that he was chayta. But Rabbi Glil he has no different droshes. He darshans that the pay is pilalta, you davened, and the ches means that is the chalta, you chalta like you davened with great kavanah, with great effort, and the sign is zarchat tfilascha, that your davening, your tefillah was shining forward. So l'cher over here, it means is that, now the way we learn it is, and Rashi says, is that means he davened so that he should be saved from the chet. He davened to prevent him from being chayte. However, it's l'cher not muchach, because maybe the pshat is that he davened to be forgiven from the chet. So the way Marshall learns now, the continuation of the Gemara is, therefore we need this further drasha. Why do we need this further drasha? Because this further drasha demonstrates that the davening was not after the chet and for forgiveness, but the davening was to be prevented, to be saved from the chet. So he says, reverse the letter and darshan it from the reverse. And pachas we darshan, so you darshan it from the backward, back to the front. So first we darshan a zayin. So the zayin is azatam. You've trembled. Here tata. It means, therefore, you went back. Parcha chet mimcha, and the chet flew away from you. So the pachas we darshan from back to front, and it means because of the davening, he was removed and saved from the chet. Rava Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah Bar Ava, he says he darshans pachas. He darshes also in back to front. The zayin is achar to'incher shel davar. You reminded yourself of the punishment for it. And the ches is chilisa atzmucha chiligadol. You made yourself sick over the davening. You davened so hard. And therefore the pay is peirashta melachtai. And therefore you were peirish, and you drew back, and you were prevented, you were saved from the chet. So we see over here, it's a machlokes tanoim, if Reuven was chayte or not. Reuven, b'nei Eli, b'nei Shmuel, Dovid, Shlomi, of Yair, Simon. So this is a Simon, and we're referring to now these personalities, where they were different droshas, where they were chayte, they were not chayte. Amar Yishmael ben Nachmani, Amar Rav Yehuda, Kolaimer, Bnei Eli Chaltu, and Rutaya. And similarly, he said, those who say that the sons of Eli Akaina, that they were Chayta, it's also a mistake. Shenemar Vasham, Shnei Bnei Eli, Chafni Upinchas, Kohanim Lashem. It calls them to Kohanim Lashem. So, Sover Law Kirav. Why do we see that they were not Chayta? Because we say he holds like Rav. Now, so we'll see shortly in the Gemara that Rav darshans that Pinchas was not chayta. So he holds like Rav the Amar Rav Pinchas leichot, that Pinchas was not chayta and makish chafni lePinchas. So therefore, and the pasuk says that the Shnei b'nei El chafni Pinchas kohanim Lashem. So we make a hekesh and we compare one to the other. Ma Pinchas leichata av chafni leichata. So he holds like Rav, and if Pinchas was not chayta, therefore we say that also chafni was not chayta. Well, however, how can we reconcile this with the pasuk that says that they were mezana with the women? It means, no, not literally that they had a znus with the women, but mitoyach shehu as kineim shalachol ba'aleim mal malay makasav kilo shchavim. It means that when the women who gave birth, they brought their korbanos there to be makriv their korbanos. Now they weren't mutter to their husbands until after the korban. Now they delayed in being makriv the korban. They delayed in being makriv the korban, and therefore they prevented the wives from being with their husbands. The women stayed over until the korban. They were makriv the korban, and therefore they were moineya, the women, from being having relations with husbands. Malalam kirish kama, it's like they took them away, so to speak, from their husbands. But it doesn't mean literally that they had relations with them and took them away from their husbands. It's since they delayed in being makriv of the korban, and the women waited until the korban, they were makriv of the korban, that they delayed in returning to their husbands. Malam kasav kilu shchavim. But they themselves were not chayta. Gufa Amar Rav says Pinchas leichata. Pinchas was not chayta. Shenemar v'achiyah ben achitu v'achiyah Yocheved ben Pinchas ben Eli Akayin and ben Eli Kain Hashem. So the pasuk is miyaches Pinchas and gives him this yichus efshe chet bali yadoi. Is it possible that he had relations with these Eishes Ish, and the pasuk is giving him this yichus? Says that a person that has relations with another woman, it says that he will be cut off, and he will not have descendants. If he does this Maisa, he will not have descendants. He will not have descendants who are awake, sharp people, and I know how to are now in learning that they're Talmidei Chachamim. Umagish and v'oina, and be able to answer. Umagish mincha l'Hashem tzvokis, and can bring a korban to Hashem. So what do we mean? It says im Yisrael, who, if he's Yisrael, the descendant lo er b'chachamim. If this person who does the Aver Sheyasena is a Yisrael, he will not have a loy er b'chachamim, v'loy oina b'talmidim. He will not have descendants who are Talmidei Chachamim. He will not have those who are sharp as a Talmid Chacham or Talmidim who will be able to answer. V'im kohen, and if this person who is Yasen, who does this Aver is a kohen, lo yila ben magish milcha, he will not have a descendant who will be mak of the korban. So therefore, it can't be that Pinchas did the Aver. No, Pinchas lechot. Must be that Pinchas did not do the Aver. It says Yishkavun. So now here, this is a new pshat. Idar says Yishkaven Ksiv, not in the plural but in the singular. So according to this pshat, he holds that Pinchas was chayta, but only Pinchas was chayta. Hofstedter was not chayta. So therefore, we have now three ways of understanding: either that they were both chayta, or the way we learned previously that Pinchas was not chayta, and there's a hackish between them that Hofstedter was also not chayta, that neither of them were chayta, neither of them sinned. Now we have this pshat over here, this malach over here, is that Pinchas was not chayta, but Hofstedter was. So he says, learn it in the singular. The pasuk says, how can you say that it's not both of them? V'haksiv al banai kiloi toiva hashmua. It says that al banai, that do not do this this loy toiva hashmua, this report, this what I'm hearing about, the rumors that I'm hearing about you are not good. So it seems to be in the plural. It means to be that both of them, the shmua, the rumors are about both of them. Amar Nachbar Yitzchak beniksi. Read it in the singular. Ma'avirim, it says that they, in the plural, are causing the people to do averas. Amar van Brei Rishua, ma'aviram ksiv, that it learned it in the singular. V'haksiv b'nei Belial, it says in the plural, the sons of wicked men. More says that according to this, he says that it's Mala Kosev for Pinchas. He really didn't do the Aver. It says it in the plural because he could have reprimanded Hofstedter. He could have prevented him from doing the Aver, and he didn't. It's Mala like he did it, but he himself did not do it. So according to this pshat, it was only Hofstedter did the Aver, but not Pinchas. So, as Taisus points out that, and this is, like we mentioned, this argues on Rav Yonasan, who says that both of them did not do the Aver because we have the hackish between them. So, Taisus mentions, and Rashi has a riches with it, that over here we're saying that we want to say that it's not written in the plural, it's written in the singular. But Taisus says that this is not the way according to the what we have, the way it's written in the Tanakh, in the Psukim, that according to the Kabbalah that we have it that it's written in the plural. And some of the Rishonim want to say that this is a toys in the Girsa because it does not coincide, it can't reconcile it with the Nusach of the Psukim that we have. And also, and as Rashi points out, that even the translation of Ma'avirim the way this Gerson the Gemara has it is not the way we understand it. The Gemara's understanding that ma'avirim is that they cause the people to do a chet. They cause them to be over and do averes. But really, he says that it's not going on B'nai Elim. Ma'avirim is not causing. It's not referring to B'nai Elim that they cause other people to do avera. It's Oivrim, B'nai Eli were Oivrim. They did the Avera, not that they caused other people to do the Avera. Mavirim rather refers to the nation. That the Am Hashem, that call, the rumor that the people are publicizing. The Mavirim means it's referring to the Am, which are publicizing the Avera that the B'nai Eli did. So therefore, many Rishonim are not going to this whole section of the Gemara. Continuing on with the chet, whether it's considered a chet or not. Amar Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani, Amar Nachmani, Amar Rabbi Yonasan, Kol ha'omer, anybody who says that B'nai Shmuel chata and elotayim, anyone says that B'nai Shmuel, that they did a also he's making a mistake. Shenemer vayehim, it says that Kizak and Shmuel v'Rav halcha b'drachav. It says when he became older, Shmuel, his sons did not follow in his ways. So we darshan b'drachav u'dolei halcha. They weren't to the madrega of Shmuel, but mechta nami loy halta, but not that they did an avera. It says that they turned after the bribery, so they did an avera. It means shaloi also k'may savim. They did not act in the way to the madrega of their father. Shmuel used to travel in the whole land and judge them in their city. He went and traveled all around to judge the Dan Yisrael. The Haim Loy also came, and they did not follow in his ways in that regard. Ela Yashu Ba'areim, they stayed in their cities. So, and that to give extra parnasa to the people, the shamoshim, and to the seifrim. So the judge, the dinim, the dinei Torah were all in their location, in their locale, and they were able to provide parnasa for their people, for their attendants, for their shamoshim, for their seifrim, because it was all local. And that's what they did, but not that they actually took bribery. Let's say this is really machlekes tanoim because it says vayitu achrei habotza. The pasuk says they turned for bribery. It means that their chelek, they asked it openly. They asked openly for, they were leviim, and for their chelek, they requested, they demanded their ma'aser. So that's what Rav Meir says. Rabbi Yehuda omer maloy til balabatim. It says that they gave merchandise to balabatim and to do business for them, and they did business for them, the balabatim, and they profited from them. And Rabbi Akiva omer kupa yaser shel ma'aser notl b'zroya. Rabbi Akiva says that they took an extra portion of ma'aser. They took it by force. And Rabbi Yossi Omer matonas notlo bezroya. He says that they took matonas, other matonas, they took it forcefully. They took it by force. So some learn that means they're referring to the matonas. What are the matonas? It's royal chayim the keva, even though that belongs to a kohen, but they took it, so that's gzela. Others learn that what it means is that they didn't take more than meiser. They didn't take Israel Chaim the Keva. They took the amount of meiser that was due to them, but they took it by force, and they're not allowed to take it by force. It has to be given to them. So it wasn't that it was more than the proper amount was taken, but it was how it was taken. They took it by force, and they're not entitled to take it by force. So now we see over here we have the different shitas. Romero, it means that they just asked for it. So according to Romero, there's no gzela per se. That would seem to be that he agrees with Rav Yonasan. There wasn't a chet per se of gzela or of bribery. Rav Yehuda says Maloy to Balabatim that they now did business with the Balabatim, so meaning they had a vested interest. So now they were the Shaiftim, the Dayanim. If they have a Negias and they have a vested interest, they're Negeba Dover, the Dinim can't be judged by the Dayanim properly. So there was considered a Chet, the way Rashi explained it. And Rabbi Kiva says, Kupa Yisera Shal Meiser Natal Bezroya. They took too much, so that's Gzela. Yetzes Matona Natal Bezroya, either that they took too much, or they took what they weren't right to take, or they took it by force. So we see over here this Katanoi, Machlokes Tanoim, if they were Chayta or not.